Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And today we are going to talk about what my plans are for GarbAugust 1.5. If you don't know what GarbAugust is a trashy reading event created by the one, the only, Criminale. I don't know why I always do that. I always do like, whomp. So I guess I'm going to have to put Criminale's name in like fancy lettering there. He is an amazing person who loves trash and always celebrates it to all of its various degrees. And he is doing a GarbAugust 1.5 weekend, which is an entire weekend devoted to reading trashy fiction. I am a proponent of trash. I'm usually reading trash even when I don't realize it, and I go, oh, I like this book, and someone is like, you like that trash? And I'm like, oh, I guess I like that trashy book. So I gravitate towards trash in all forms, and these are 10 potential books for me to read. So basically what my plan is, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the only thing I'm going to be doing is listening to garbage audiobooks. These are going to be all of these audiobooks I have either got on Audible at one point or in the Audible Plus library, and there is a few other surprises as we go. Now, listen, even though I'm doing this for 3 straight days, I'm not going to get to all 10 of these books. This kind of just gives me a little bit of leeway to go like, oh, I feel like doing this, I feel like doing this. And some of these are novellas, and obviously I don't want to just go listen to these on like 7 times speed and get through a billion of them, right? There's no fun. So the rules are I can't go over 1.5 times speed for listening to those. That's what my normal speed of listening to audiobooks is anyways. And it's less about, cramming as many books in as possible and more about having the most fun I can in a weekend full of trash. So first off, the only one that won't be on Audible, and probably the one that I won't be able to listen to because I don't have the required equipment. And that is, my local used bookstore got in a cassette tape of a Long Arm story. Long Arm 249 on cassettes. I have been looking for cassette players for the last month or two because I really want to listen to this, but I haven't been able to find any at my local used bookstores or used thrift stores or anything like that. So maybe hopefully in the next week, I will come across one and be like, wow, it's saved. I can listen to that. And that I'm very much looking forward to. I think this must be abridged of some sort because it says the approximate running time is about 3 hours. And long arm books are short, but I would expect long arm books to at least be 6 hours if you're doing a conventional audiobook. So I don't know if this is abridged. It doesn't say that it's abridged anywhere else. Oh no, it does. It actually says abridged at the end there. So yeah, this is an abridged audiobook. I don't know what that means. I mean, are they just going to cut out the smut scenes? Because that's the only way to shorten up a long arm book. Or it's only going to be the smut scenes. I hope it's the latter. Anyway, so yes, Long Arm, an abridged version of Long Arm on tape cassette. I'm looking forward to that. That's very weird to abridge a series that is already a super, super short book. But anyways, the rest I'm going to be listening to will all be on Audible and using the Audible Plus membership or things that I have owned for ages. So first off, I wanted to get a little bit of everything in this list in terms of the full gamut of trashy literature. And this is something I didn't even do during GarbAugust. It was something I kind of let go by the wayside and no longer. I am going to be getting into trashy romance this time, starting out with this book, which is technically, it's a 4.5. It's a novella that's 4.5 in the series, so it's in between books 4 and 5. It's called Ninja at First Sight, and it's a book in the Knitting in the City series. I don't know. I have no words. I don't know what this is going to be. I'm excited to experience whatever this will be. It will assuredly be trashy or just at very least a quick and breezy read. So we will see if trashy romance is something I do actually enjoy because I've never really gone into that realm. Next up, a new realm for me as well. This is good old-fashioned smut. full-on smut, and this is Mountain Darkness by Vanessa Vale. It's a wild mountain men novel. And as you can see on the cover, it's one lady with two mountain men. The synopsis of this like describes like one of these guys being like the sheriff, and there's like some kind of a murder. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm in. This is the first book in a series, so hey, if this is some good quality smut, maybe I'll be expanding my horizons in the future to read more entries in the Mountain Men saga. Next up, this is a trashy nonfiction book because I feel like when people talk about trash fiction, people kind of leave nonfiction books out of the equation, and I think that's not fair. I think there's a lot of nonfiction books that, definitely are, at the very least, are appealing to a trashier crowd. For example, this book is called Trespassing Across America, one man's epic, never done before, and sort of illegal hike across the heartland. I mean, that's trashy in so many ways. It's someone saying it's epic when he's just hiking, never been done before. Again, it's a white man hiking. I don't think it's that out of the ordinary. It's illegal. He's doing illegal things, and he's trespassing. So yeah, obviously I am going to listen to this and enjoy it. But yeah, it does seem to be a little bit more of a trashier kind of a travel log. And you know me, I like the idea of travel, but, most of the time people are like, oh, I'm in Paris. Oh, I'm eating a croissant in Paris. And I'm like, nah, man, I want you jumping fences and fighting cows, which I'm sure this book will have. Next up, now we're back into things that you'd be like, okay, this is the kind of stuff that Andrew listens to all this time. This is a Warhammer 40k novel, and I have become one of those people who are very not fun to talk to at parties because I'm into Warhammer 40k now. And this is another book featuring orcs because I think that the orcs in the Warhammer universe are absolutely hilarious. And this is Gazgul Thraka, Prophet of Wog. I think it's just a tale about a big old orc man. And this is like the king of the orcs. He's doing orc stuff. So, I'm down. It looks fun. It sounds dumb and silly and enjoyable. And all the orcs talking Cockney accents. So, that's got to be immensely entertaining. Next up, we are bringing my old pal, Charles L. Grant, now writing under Charles Grant for this book as he is talking about X-Files. Yes, this is an X-Files tie-in novel, The X-Files Goblins by Charles Grant. If you don't know who Charles Grant is, in the 80s he went by Charles L. Grant, and he was behind the Shadow series, which was a series of great anthologies written in the 80s up to the 90s, early 90s, and then he also wrote quite a few horror books in that little menage of the Paperbacks from Hell era. And this is right after that era, and he is writing a TV tie-in book. I have been interested in reading these for a long time. I love the X-Files. Have I ever completed all the X-Files? No. I think I made it to season 6. I think I'm currently at season 6 of the X-Files. I love the X-Files. I'm just really bad at getting through television shows. So it has taken me quite some time. So, yeah, I'm really excited to read Charles L. Grant talking about goblins with the X-Files men's. Mulder and Scully, what are they going to do? They're going to fight some goblins in some trashy books. Next up, these are going to be longer books, so these will be near the end of my marathons because they're slightly longer than the others. This is Alien Prototype. This is actually a re-listen to me. This is an Alien books by Tim Wagner. I had so much fun listening to this last year, and I thought, hey, what better celebration of me and trashy books is to read an Alien tie-in novel. So, Alien Prototype, which is one of the more, I would say, less highfalutin Alien tie-in books, and more just like a really fun action adventure story with some really great horrific explanations, because there is a xenomorph that is infected with a necrosis. So everyone's getting oh, this all done. Then the alien's going clear. It's great. I loved it. So I'm very excited to revisit that. here's one that I had to revisit. This is the audiobook for The Nest, which I have listened to before. It's revisiting, obviously. And I have to do it because I have to figure out who is right. Is it Criminale or is it Kelsey from Slime and Slashers? Bam, bam, bam. I remember being in the middle of their opinions and going like, oh, that was a fun read. And that was my entire opinion of it. But, Criminale says, not so good. And then, on the other hand, you have Kelsey from Slime and Slashers. And Kelsey goes, it's fucking good. It good. So, she even used the word poetic to describe this book. So we will see. We will see in the battle of my soul. Where do I end up on The Nest? The most important book of all time. Next up, we're getting near the end here. This is a audiobook, which I have not actually listened to, and this is an audiobook for Planet of the Dinosaurs, which is a 1977 cult movie. This is a audiobook written way after the fact. Like, it is written far, far from the 70s. So it is a very odd thing to exist. Like, I'm kind of baffled about the mere existence of this book. So I'm very excited to see what a modern audiobook that is a novelization for a movie I quite enjoy, but is not good. Like, it's a pretty bad movie, Planet of the Dinosaurs. So that is going to be super fun. And last, but certainly not least, this is one of my favorite giant monster books. Or it was when I listened to it a few years ago. I wonder if my opinions will have changed dramatically now that I'm reading a lot more. This is the first book in the series called Project Nemesis by Jeremy Robinson. And this is like a giant monster trashy book. And there's like a whole series of it. And I had like a week at work where I was working insane hours and I had to like just listen to the audiobook for all 5 of them. I think there's 5 of these, and there's like a bunch of tie-in things that go along with it, but only 5 of the core books, and those are the only ones I've read. And I remember really enjoying that, and I will be interested to see if my opinions remain. So yeah, what are you going to be reading for, the GarbAugust 1.5? Are you one of those people who go, oh, audiobooks are cheating? If you are, just unsubscribe. I don't want to talk to you. And I hope you're having a great day. Goodbye.